who are IUL or Indexed Universal Life professionals, in my opinion. And they really bring a lot to the table from a home office perspective and, of course, from a typical agent perspective. So you're going to get a little taste of both sides, which I think will help everyone understand exactly about this new product that we're rolling out today. Joseph Loughran is also joining us, and he's our Marketing Vice President. And first off, I just want to say we try to, and if you've been with us a while, you know this, but we try to pick maybe a hot new sales program, maybe a new concept or idea, maybe a new product that's rolling out, or whatever the case is. Our goal is to show you, okay, and train you and teach you every part of the life insurance industry, so you don't have to go out and surf 10 or 20 different websites and spend an hour or two online every day to research what's hot and what's not. So we try to constantly pick the latest carriers and products, and like I said, sales ideas to keep you ahead of your competition. Ultimately, that's our goal, and we feel that if we're not accomplishing that goal, then we're simply falling behind. So along with that, we're rolling out a brand new Indexed Universal Life product with Genworth, and it's called the Asset Builder IUL 2. And what we love about this product, and most important, is the carrier behind all of this is Genworth, who we have an excellent relationship with. They have a household name, as we all know. So that's the first and probably the most important part of the call, is Genworth is behind all of this. The second best part, in my opinion, is the product can be sold with our e-application system and electronic policy delivery. We were actually a part of the pilot program when Genworth rolled out the electronic policy delivery tool. So obviously we have a great relationship, and we're one step ahead of our competition in the IMO space, if you will. So great tools there, and of course this gives you all the latest and greatest technology to keep one step ahead, which is the name of the game. Also, a true long-term care rider available on this product, and excellent guarantees. So I feel that they've kind of taken a back seat in this Indexed UL arena and kind of sat back to see what the other carriers and products, how they're performing and what they're doing, and they've created an awesome version of the Asset Builder. So great stuff to come. I don't want to steal any of their thunder. Also, me and Joe are going to dive into some of the tools that we have put together to help you understand and sell more Indexed UL. And I'm sure that you have seen lately, especially the start of 2015, that Indexed UL and Indexed Annuity hot button has been pressed multiple times, and you're going to hear about it more and more this year and moving into the near future, especially because of the interest rate environment and what's going on in the industry. So Indexed UL, definitely a hot button. Excellent, excellent product for younger professionals looking to accumulate cash value for retirement purposes, and just simply to have a death benefit that's guaranteed, and of course cash accumulation along the way that can be used for loans or to pay premiums, and then the addition of the riders make it an awesome duo. So great stuff there. Okay, we're going to dive right into our annual Agent Expo. Joe is going to talk about this, and now is the time to start qualifying. Joe?
Thanks, Bill. Our annual expo this year is actually April 24th. It's, of course, free for all agents to attend. This is a day, it's actually a Friday, full of sales ideas, sales concepts. We have all of our top carriers there. In fact, Genworth will be one of the featured speakers, covering a lot of the index sales concepts that we'll be going over. But really, by the end of the day, by the end of Friday, you're going to walk away with sales ideas, concepts, even a lot of platforms that we provide to you to be able to make a difference in your everyday sales activities. So it's going to mean generating new clients, finding new market segments to go after. Again, this is a day basically from 9 to 5 full of sales ideas, sales concepts. You get to meet top industry experts, top underwriters. A lot of great things happen at the expo. Again, free for all agents to attend. What we did was we put together a neat qualification for For those agents that maybe are out of town, want to come down to South Florida for the weekend, you'll see the first level of qualification there is if you wrote $15,000 in paid premium, which actually started September 1st, all the way to the end of March, you get one free night at that beachfront resort. As you can see from the pictures, it is smack on the beach, so a beautiful location to host the expo. The second level is $40,000 in paid premium. That'll get you round-trip airfare plus one free night at that beachfront resort. The third level on the bottom is $50,000 of paid premium. That'll get you round-trip airfare plus 2 free nights at that beachfront resort. So if you want to come down to South Florida at the end of April, of course, a beautiful time of the year to do that. And you get to learn all those great sales ideas that we're hosting on Friday. So a lot of great information. You can register right on the homepage or reach out to our office, and we'll actually get you registered and send you all the information so you can attend April 24th. Also, some upcoming webinars here. Bill's going to review just a couple things we have scheduled for the upcoming week.
Yep. Also, keep in mind for the expo, to qualify for the beachfront location weekend or the room or round-trip airfare, all life, annuity, and long-term care premium counts. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. If you haven't qualified, it's definitely a good time. You got a few months left, so it's a great time to jump on board. Upcoming training webinars, which is what you're on right now, and as I said earlier, we try to always make sure that we take every minute to train our agents and make sure that you, most important, are abreast on what's going on in the industry around us. Starting on the 25th, we're going to dive into advanced annuity sales strategies for 2015. That's 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then the following day on the 26th, this is an awesome webinar you don't want to miss, okay? Our Mortgage Lead program has been doing unbelievably well since we launched it almost 3 years ago. So it's a great opportunity, okay? Levinson actually picks up part of the cost. It's a great opportunity to buy at least a batch of 10 leads. We give you a couple of free leads. You will hear the creator of the program on that call. And then we also have one of our agents who uses the program every week. He's very, very successful using the program. He's going to give you some of his tips, secrets, what to do and what not to do with our Mortgage Lead program. So that's on the 26th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. March 5th, once again, IUL Safe Money Sales Training at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Folks, if you're not familiar with indexed UL and even indexed annuities, it's okay. Okay, it's not a problem. We're here to hold your hands. Okay, you can call any one of us in marketing. Josh Hoffman is an expert in anything with indexed annuities, life, sales, training, strategies. Don't be shy. You can talk to Josh anytime. He'll do everything that you need except write the actual application. So take advantage. Okay, what we did for today's call, and I know we're moving kind of quickly here, but I don't want to take away any of Dan and Mike's time here to present our new products. But what we did is, for everyone on the call today, okay, so the first agent who writes the new Asset Builder IUL2 after today's call wins a free 16-gig tablet. And what's so neat is you can actually use this tablet to write applications and even deliver the policy right from this tablet that almost fits in your pocket. So great stuff here. We're giving this away for free. And then also our Cash for Contracting incentive allows you to, of course, get that free tablet. If you're licensed already through another IMO, okay, you simply get contracted under Levinson. We will meet or beat your existing contract plus give you at least $100 cash with your first application. So again, a great opportunity to make anywhere from $100 to $400 of extra cash plus win this tablet for writing the first Asset Builder IUL2. So a great chance there to win a few extra bucks and increase your existing commissions. Okay, we have put together a library of indexed UL resources that Joe is going to touch on briefly. Joe?
Thanks, Bill. What you're looking at right now is actually a screenshot of CarrieLevinson.com. One thing I wanted to point out to everybody is when we run these various indexed UL products, A lot of times we're taking distribution at certain ages, we're paying for a certain period of time, and all that can take up a lot of time to run those different illustrations. So I want everyone to know that our marketing team, our staff is here to run illustrations for you. We make it very, very simple, very, very easy. All you have to do is go to CarrieLevinson.com, hover over the Quotes tab. You'll see I put an orange box around the Permanent Life Quote Request tab. You can literally click on that button, enter in all your information as the agent, enter in all the client information, let us know exactly how you want that illustration run. That'll get automatically emailed right to the marketing team. You'll receive that illustration that same day with all the marketing material, the applications, everything you need to write that case. So feel free to go on there, request some quotes. You know, one of the best ways to see just how competitive this product is to illustrate it with any pending cases that you have. Let us know. We'll get that over to you right away. Also, another great IndexUL resource on the bottom of the page here. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because Dan's going to be covering it. Is the Index Institute Sales website from Genworth. As far as agent resources go, this is one of the best websites that we've seen. When it comes to IndexUL products, you want to have a good platform. You want to educate yourself on the product and also have great material to help sell the product. We all know sales illustrations do a great job, but a lot of times they're cumbersome, they're confusing. The Index Institute really helps you as an agent become more familiar with the product. It'll give you marketing materials, sales videos, everything you need to help start that sale and actually help you close that sale just by using those resources available. So everybody on today's call, you'll of course receive an email with all the marketing material, but we'll also send you a link to that website so you can check out all the different features. Another great tool I want to talk about is something we provide agents at absolutely no cost, which is normally an $800 value, is the InsMark software platform. This is a software system you can actually download to your laptop, to your desktop, any computer that you have. And with the click of a button, you can actually show a customized policy analysis to your client. So I've highlighted a couple different sales concepts, but if you're looking to get the competitive edge on maybe another agent or other product, you can use the InsMark software at absolutely no cost. We can send you the code to download it as early as this afternoon. You're going to be able to create a customized report that easily walks the client through the explanation of the insurance product. So you'll see a couple different sales concepts on the screen here, but this is a great tool. Again, it's very easy to use. You can download it in about 10 minutes, and it will walk that client through the entire sales process. You'll see there's some great charts, some great diagrams. Really takes what would normally be a complicated product and really will make it very, very simple for that client to understand. Again, available at absolutely no cost. Just let us know. After today's webinar, we'll send you over the actual link to download that software.
Excellent, Joe. Thank you. And yeah, even if it sounds a little confusing, or when you dive into the website you get lost, or you know, maybe the language doesn't relate to you, if it's talking about technology, please don't walk away from using some of the tools that we provide. You can call us anytime, and we will literally hold your hand and walk you through the entire process so you're comfortable, especially with a tool like InsMark. So everything that we provide, okay, including the turnkey iGenius platform, is available at no charge to all appointed agents. So again, take advantage and use these tools that we provide, especially trying to build and grow your business into the future with today's technology. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to dive into today's presentation. We're very excited about this new product. It was actually officially launched yesterday, so you will be one of the first to hear about this. And with that said, I want to introduce Mike Swayze, our Regional VP at Genworth, and Dan Chamberlain, who is our internal and Mike's right hand at Genworth. So without further ado, Mike and Dan, you there?
Sure am.
Sure.
Good afternoon. Appreciate that intro, Bill. And I appreciate everyone that's taking the time to join the call today and listen to me speak for a few moments on the new product that we have launched. As Bill mentioned, it did launch yesterday, the 23rd. We're very, very excited about this for a couple of reasons, many of which I'll get into in just a second, but also one of the largest hurdles with any product launch in this age, it seems, is state approvals. We have 49 state approvals. We are approved in every single state, ready to go and write business with the exception of New York. which we're not actively seeking approvals in New York with certain products at this time, but we keep a nice pulse of the regulatory environment there. So if you do have questions, certainly happy to answer those on New York. But 49 states locked and loaded, ready to go with the long-term care rider. So jumping into this a little bit, and we're super excited about this particular product. It is our, in essence, our third product launch in the IUL market since we jumped into this market just under 2 years ago. Our first product was the Asset Builder IUL 1. It was a good product. It was a strong product in certain cells, and we won some nice business with it. But we felt that we had a lot of areas that we could improve and make it better, and that was really our overall goal, was to make the product better and more competitive across the competitive landscape that's out there. The timing of the release is actually really great as well, as we look at what the regulatory environment is doing in relation to indexed universal life insurance and with regards to the potential regulation of illustrated rates. That's a big hot topic now. What we believe we have put out here, and I will show you this, is a product that you can illustrate across a wide variety of illustrated rates and have it still be ultra competitive against anyone else out there in the industry. So in a short story, is you will know that when you are running a Genworth Asset Builder IUL 2 illustration, whether it's a 5%, 7% max illustrated rate, you're going to get one of the best performing products out there when it comes to those client disbursements. And that is what this product is built for. It is built to accumulate cash and more so tax-free disbursements, whether it's for supplemental income, college planning, whatever the reason is, we are looking to maximize those tax-free disbursements, and that's very, very important. There's several things that I want to talk about today. Shortened illustration, marketing material, but I want to dive into the product a little bit. And first, start a little bit just about Genworth. We have been in the news a lot, and for good reason. Long-term care reserving, we continue to do what is right for our customer base, not necessarily the analysts and investors. They don't always see eye to eye. We wrote our first life insurance policy as Life of Virginia back in 1871. We have written more long-term care policies than anyone else in the industry. And by boosting those reserves, as we took a look internally at ourselves, we needed to boost reserves, did that to the chagrin of many analysts, however, to the delight of our customers. So we will be there for another 140 years to continue to pay those claims as they do come due for life, annuity, long-term care. So we've been here in this business for a long time. We plan on being it for another 140 years, and certainly appreciate everyone that's looked at Genworth and written Genworth products in the past. Thank you for that. But now for what we all came here for. So diving into this product a little bit. Our goal versus our previous product and even our competitors was really, like I said, maximize tax-free distributions. This particular product is going to be built in a way that, like I said, you'll be able to illustrate it along a wide variety of illustrated rates depending on you and the client's comfort level with seeing a particular illustrated rate. We've added some nice features to it, a interest credit enhancement. Many folks know this as a persistency bonus. We call it an interest credit enhancement, which is simply going to reward long-term ownership of the product. When we look at where this product fits, it really, really stacks up very nice when we have 10 pays or longer, so longer duration pays, 10 years or longer, with income coming at some point after that. There are products in the industry that are designed to be short pay. I'm paying once and taking income in the second year. Not the best fit for this particular product, but we do have actually something that might fit, and I'll kind of touch on that as we wrap up if time allows. And we've updated many of the sales tools, actually all of the sales tools. We've shortened the illustration. We took the feedback we received from our agency clients, so Levinson and Associates, and we've also taken the feedback we received from you, the customer, our customer, who is facing the client out there, the actual producing agent, which is that our IUL illustration was too long. Love the content, love the structure, love the flow. It's a usable sales tool that's designed specifically for one client. However, very, very lengthy. We did shorten that, so please go check it out. I'm seeing it anywhere from 28 to 32 pages, depending on how many supplements you like to use. But it's a really, really nice feature. It is, in my opinion, the most usable sales illustration in the industry, in the IUL industry. To touch more deeply on a couple of things, the interest credit enhancement endorsement, what this is a 35 basis point interest credit that will credit into the policy in years 11 and beyond. And the really, really nice feature is it is conditionally guaranteed upon two things. Those two things are, when you think about an index universal life policy, there's two places to put your money. The first is the fixed account. So you can have your money in the fixed bucket, which currently pays at Genworth 4.25%. As long as we are paying at Genworth above the guaranteed minimum of 2%, your client will receive this interest credit. So that's on the fixed side. The other side of the house, where we do anticipate the majority of the funds to be sitting, is in the index strategies. If the client is in an index strategy, as long as we have a cap, which the current cap on this product is 13%, as long as we have a cap above the contractually guaranteed minimum, which on an annual point-to-point is 3%, we will pay that interest credit. And when you look at this chart, you will also notice a couple of things on how it works. In a negative market, what we will do is, what we will do is we will credit on top of 0 the 35 basis points as you would expect. But a very nice feature is that the cap, we will allow it to go above the cap. So if the market returns us 13% or higher, and in this example it's 25% return, we will allow that credit to exceed the cap and go all the way up to 13.35% for the credit to the index account. So it's a very nice feature. One of the key things that we have changed on this particular product to make it much, much more competitive versus the original asset builder and our competitors is the slope of the COI charges. And this is where insurance carriers have a lot of flexibility to really make changes in where their product fits and how it's priced out. The black line, the dark line that you see, is the original asset builder cost of insurance slope. And this is based on a 45-year-old preferred no nicotine. What you'll notice is it starts fairly low, but then it continues to increase, levels out. But in year 31, we hit a huge spike in our COI slope. What this did was it really impacted to the negative disbursements. The cash looked great, everything looked great, but it weighed down disbursements. What we have done is we've changed that slope, so it does start off a little bit higher. And what I said earlier was we view this particular product fitting for those clients that want to pay for at least 10 years. And the reason for that is because of this COI slope. The COI starts off a shade higher, but it does drop back down and overall models underneath the original slope. And that allows us, especially in those later years, when you look at the gap between the old slope and the new slope, that's going to allow us to have much, much more competitive disbursements as we move forward with this particular product. Some things we did not necessarily change. Competitive distributions, obviously, we changed how high they are, and we'll get to those in a second. I'll give you an idea of what those actually look like in comparison to the industry. Our goal is still to have a product that is still easy to sell. It's as easy as an index universal life policy can be to explain to your client. We do link to just the S&P 500. As almost 80% of all index account money goes into the S&P 500 index, or is tracked along the S&P 500 index. Fixed and participating loans, of course, we do have the long-term care rider available on this product. It's a huge win to have it available on this product for those clients that don't want to worry about having multiple products for multiple needs. They can get it on. It is an additional cost. So I will, little disclaimer, anytime a client is trying to maximize distributions, any rider that has an additional cost is going to drag that distribution down slightly. So just be aware of that. If the client's main goal is LTC coverage, or if it is pure death benefit, the foundation builder IUL may be a better fit for them, but we can help navigate that, that ocean for you. And then certainly, as Bill and Joe mentioned, we offer e-policy delivery, Life Quick Request. It's a bit of a different format for Life Quick Request, which is the drop ticket. So certainly contact Joe and Bill, will be able to help you out and walk you through that. And the same underwriting that you are familiar with on our term side applies to this. However, it gets the white glove treatment. It's viewed by multiple sets of eyeballs. It's viewed by the top senior underwriters within Genworth. We really treat the index UL with that white glove treatment, so you have the most pleasant, streamlined experience that you can possibly have during the submission. To just touch quickly, and we can get this information out to you so you can have this as a PDF, and it's certainly available on the Index Institute. The caps, as I mentioned, it's a 13% cap on our annual point-to-point. We do have something that's a little different from some other carriers, which is going to be the one-year cap plus strategy that you see here as the second line item. The strategy allows you for an extra 1% charge to buy a higher cap if you believe that the S&P index is going to perform. Over time, the S&P index has performed. I'm a big fan of a portion utilization, a proportional utilization of this particular strategy. I'm not a big fan of 100%. That's just my personal opinion of 100% of premium going into this particular strategy. But I do like it for whether it's 20%, a quarter percent, 25%, just to help level off and get a little bit more gain when the S&P decides to give it, because it will give it from time to time. We did remove something as we launched this new product, and I mentioned the NAIC and some of the decisions they'll be making probably in the next several months on maximum illustrated rates. We removed our 2-year cap plus strategy, which allowed you to illustrate over 11%. The reason for that is we fully expect the NAIC to put limitations on what your maximum illustrated rate can be. Having one at 11%, we were kind of outside of the industry. We were out of the box on that one a little bit, and quite frankly, the utilization was not worth the highlights that we were getting, so we removed that from this particular as well as our previous product line. So just a little heads up there in case you have been quoting that. It was very important for us to make sure that we were able to have improved disbursements over the old product before we could move on to see how we relate to our competitors. So that's what I wanted to show you with this slide. What you'll see are 3 different segments. You see everything from a 25 pay, so paying over the first 25 years, a 20 pay, and then a 10 pay with very similar distribution structures on the original asset builder versus the new version. And what you'll see at 7%, 6%, and 5% rates of return is that we're going to range anywhere from 8%. I've actually seen it in a few cells as high as 22, 23% improvement in distributions. Those are annual distributions. So just about every single cell we made significant strides on and improved those distributions, those maximum distributions. We were also able on this particular product to lower the current participating loan rate to 4.5%. The old was 4.75. Along with that comes our contractually mandatory cap. We cannot go above 5.9% on a participating loan rate. So if you want to quote a little more conservative, but you do like to participate in loans, quote it at 5.9%. But you can certainly quote the current, which is 4.5%, and you'll be able to see a nice arbitrage there when you do illustrate in that fashion. So where were we? Where are we now? Normally, I'm not the biggest fan of heat maps. However, we've done a lot of research on this one. We compared it to the top 17 products in the industry in the disbursement accumulation product type. What you see on the left-hand side, these are at 5% illustrated rates. What you see, if you just look at it, you see a lot of reds and yellows, right? Very, very little bit of green. Reds are bad on heat maps. I'm sure you're all aware of that, but reds are not good on heat maps. We were coming in on average in about the 8 to 9 range on average. The new structure has us top 3, generally top 2 in maximum disbursements at a 5% illustrated rate. It's across most age classes. It's across just about all of our rate classifications, including nicotine use. So keep that in mind as you move forward with these illustrations and as you work with clients that have these types of goals. Not only will we illustrate very well at 5%, which that in itself is different for Genworth. We used to be one of the higher illustrated companies out there wanting to illustrate at 7.5%, 8%. But what we've found and what we're learning from the NAIC as well as from our distribution partners is that we got to scale that back a little bit. So what we are doing, being very, very competitive at 5%. If you were to line up the top 20 or top 17 as we did, the top 17 carriers as it relates to product distribution, at 5% you would find a group at the top and a group at the bottom, of course. If you flipped it to 7%, you would essentially be flipping, and you wouldn't see the same folks that were very competitive. 5%, they're not always there at 7%. That was one of our challenges and one of our goals, was to be there at 5 and 7%, and of course we're there at 6 as well. So here you see the same type of scenario. This is at 7% illustrated rate. Still on the left, the old product, a lot of red, a little bit of greens and yellows. On the right-hand side, lots of 1s and 2s, a few 3s smattered with them. The short story is we don't know how the product is going to perform. We don't know how the S&P 500 is going to perform as an index. But what we do know is whether it's 5%, 6%, 7%. I've even done some side-by-sides at 7.5%. We will compete with anyone in the industry. So you can know going in by illustrating the Genworth Asset Builder IUL2, you're getting a highly competitive product no matter what the end result is for the consumer, which unfortunately we won't know for years down the road. Heat maps are worthless unless you compare them to the correct firms. So just a quick snapshot. If there's certain carriers that you like to quote for your index universal life products, these are who we compare to. I'm not going to pick out anyone or highlight anyone. If we were not number one, we were not consistently beat by the same person over and over again. It was constantly someone different. So there's really no, I guess, no easy logic to apply to that other than folks winning different cells. The point that I would like to get across is I don't feel we left off anyone that participates in the same distribution channel that we do, that also has the same type of death benefit structure, which is very, when you pass away, we pay the death benefits of the beneficiaries. I don't believe we have left anyone out when we look at it from that perspective. If you do see someone out, let Joe and Bill know, and I'll do my best to get a comparison for you and see where we fit with whoever it is that you may be using. But the lion's share we have on here, and we illustrate very, very well against these folks, and very happy with the product we were able to create. As Bill mentioned, Life Quick Request. I will say this. I love the platform. I love the structure. If you're going to be submitting an IUL via the drop ticket platform through Levinson & Associates, please let them know so they can let us know a couple of days in advance. The reason I say that is sometimes there are behind-the-scenes work that needs to be done, and what we don't want to have happen is have you submit your first one and you hit a hurdle or two that we have to clear before we have free sailing. So if you know it's coming, please let us know if you'd like to submit in that fashion just so we can do our due diligence on the backside. E-policy delivery, it's a great option for those that really just want to deliver electronically. I think it's a huge benefit for those that do. And certainly we can deliver paper as well, just your personal preference. Our underwriting, I will share this about our underwriting. Like I mentioned, we have a white glove treatment process, but to hone in on a couple of spots for you, if you think about clients that are 59 and younger, which is the majority of IUL purchasers, that are having a death benefit of $3 million and under, we do not have an auto APS, meaning we do not automatically need an APS in the large majority of those scenarios. If we can avoid getting an APS, we are seeing some turn times of under 10 days to get a medical offer. That is very significant. That is very huge. Now, please don't twist my words and say, hey, Mike Swayze said that I'll have my offer in 10 days every single time. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I've seen it. I've seen it a lot because of that lack of an auto APS during those particular cells. So if you do have healthy clients, we know our prices are exactly where they need to be. The disbursements are where they need to be. Give us a look, give us a shot, and not only will we win with the product itself, we're going to wow you with the underwriting process as well. We also launched on Monday, yesterday, the Index Institute 2.0, and Joe mentioned a few things about it, and I want to show you just a couple of things. We have spent a lot of time, effort, energy, capital onto this particular website because we believe that, we know actually that our distribution partners, their producers, our customers use it and absolutely love it for what it can be used for. It's a phenomenal educational tool. What I would first of all encourage you all to do is spend a few minutes clicking through the site to see what is there. It is everything index-oriented. You will not see a single piece about term insurance on here, whole life, VUL, it is index life insurance, it is index annuities. And we have it broken down. But as I said, I want to point out two things for you. If you just hover over the Index UL tab here, you'll notice there's a lot of sales concepts for the business market, for personal, lots of different ideas, things that you can use, many of which, and we're working to make sure that it's all of these, will also have a consumer piece associated with it, something you can show your end consumer and talk through this particular idea. In addition to that, certainly the product details, our caps and rates. You can go right here and download the rate sheet. Riders, the long-term care rider, the details are here as well. But everyone loves the videos. Everyone loves hearing Charlie Gipple stand up and do his speech. He's a phenomenal presenter, phenomenal IUL mind and FIA mind as well. If you click on the videos, you will get exactly what you expect to get. You will get a large dose of Charlie Gipple talking through many of the sales ideas, whether it's IUL, indexed annuities, structuring cases, sales ideas, seed versus the harvest, which I think only he can do with his Midwest corn background. But phenomenal presenter, phenomenal speaker. If you're ever looking for an idea or a way to phrase something differently, good chance Charlie has a video on it. The last piece of this site that I would encourage you to take a look at is under the research and news. And this is a relatively new section for us. Under the latest articles, what our goal is to do is to compile kind of a list of relevant, of IUL and indexed annuities articles that are relevant in our mind. And that is really what we're doing. You can also see the sources. These are not Genworth written articles. Some of them will have a lot to do with Genworth. Some of them may have very little or nothing to do with Genworth, except for the fact that they're involved with IUL or fixed indexed annuities. So you see Insurance News and Advisor Today, Wealth Management. It's a one-stop shop. So again, you don't have to keep going to website after website after website. You can come here, spend 20, 30 minutes reading per day, make sure you're up to date on the newest from the regulatory environment or just ideas. Make sure you know what's going on in the industry. So a really, truly great educational site for your convenience, and it's all about you. As I mentioned, the Asset Builder 2, it is simply put, it is designed to pay maximum premiums in, non-modified endowment contract premiums, to provide for the most tax-free disbursements, however you want to structure those disbursements, whether it's withdrawals to basis at fixed loans, whether it's participating loans from day one, anything in between, that's what it is designed for. I really, really encourage you to take a look at it, to illustrate it, compare it to what you may be looking at today. My guess is many of you have written Genworth term products and GUL products in the past, and I know some of you have written the IUL also, and again, thank you for that. This is really our focus going forward. We're not backing away from the term industry. We are still there. We still spreadsheet okay. And but what you're going to see from us is a lot more to come. This is the beginning of our accumulation phase. You're going to see a lot more to come with regards to IUL from Genworth. And this is where it starts, having a truly phenomenal, competitive across many illustrated rates product that you can go to and rely on. You will see we do have two offerings, and they are distinctly different. Asset Builder is what we talked about today. Again, accumulation disbursements, tax-free disbursements. We do have a death benefit offering, a protection-based IUL product called Foundation Builder. Has up to a 30-year guarantee. Very, very well-built product, great priced, great accumulation. When you look in the protection field, has a great high cap at 14%. And in the protection marketplace, that is really becoming unheard of. So you can illustrate it low, but knowing that your upside is great. The chances of achieving the interest rate you're illustrating is much better when you have a cap to take in those upside that the S&P index will give you. That was what I wanted to talk about today. It looks like we're right about time. Dan, I'll ask you if you have anything that you wanted to add.
Absolutely. Just two quick things. One on Asset Builder, and I apologize if this is a repeat, but one of the things about the change of the slopes that the distribution's got a whole lot better. So if you are showing an illustration and you're not showing income, and you're just comparing cash values at age 65, maybe from Genworth to another carrier, they may be similar. But if you know that that individual is interested in taking out income at some point in the future, or maybe they don't even know that they want to take income, but they want to know it's there, I would encourage you to show that distribution, because that is where that product is really going to shine. So what I'm saying is that the cash values may be the same, but the distributions are a lot of times higher on Asset Builder compared to our competitors. And then on Foundation Builder, just to hit, is typically about 20% lower in price than a guaranteed UL. And like Mike said, it's got that 30-year guarantee or out to age 80 on it. One other nice niche that I see is where you've got a client who may be 70 or 75 years old. You still get a 15-year guarantee. So that 75-year-old, that's a guarantee all the way out to age 90. And since we have a shortened duration of how long this policy is going to be in force and their life expectancy, it's not nearly as interest rate sensitive. So what we see if you run an illustration and you're targeting an age 95 or age 100 is how long you'd like the policy to last. If you show a rate decreased by 1%, you're usually only decreasing how long that policy is going to last by about 1 year. So it's not real interest sensitive, and is a very nice competitor to GUL out there, while giving your client the flexibility of having cash value.
Great, thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. And it looks like a question just came through, and we'll address this. So the question was, how soon into the policy can we reduce the death benefit option? And I'm looking at it as two ways. So if we're going from an option 2, increasing death benefits, option 1, I'd have to check on to see if we have any. I don't believe, Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that we will restrict you. We won't make any changes to our policies, and this is generally Genworth's position within the first policy year. So my answer would be you could change that as early as year 2. So if you did a single premium and wanted to show that change from a option 2 to an option 1 and start income, we can illustrate that in year 2. Dan, do I have that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And the other, yeah, so it looks like that was answered appropriately. But Bill and Joe, I will turn it back over to you. Thank you again to everyone. Really appreciate your business and your time today. And I hope you have a terrific week. And as the Levinsons always say, good selling.
Thank you very much, guys. And great job to both of you. So I just want to mention before we let you go here, if you haven't sold a indexed UL yet, now is a great time, especially with the training platform that we've put together. If you're familiar with indexed UL and you've sold quite a bit, great. I'm just encouraging you to take a look at this new product. Call us for some comparison illustrations, and obviously whatever works better, we'll go that route. So we're here to help you and hold your hand. And last but not least, just keep in mind the industry is always about changing, and that's exactly what we all need to do to keep moving forward. Okay, and that applies to agents, GAs, IMOs, carriers like Genworth, and that's exactly why they've rolled out this new indexed UL product, was to compete in 2015 in the near future. With that said, you'll get an email from us later this afternoon containing all of the material that we went over and all of the new brochures and links that are available to you. Have a wonderful week, a great weekend, and good selling. Take care.